Yes, what I was attracted to you in your campaign, and the reason why is your message about human trafficking.
Yes.
I'm an older student, graduating in May, with quite a bit of experience. Thank you. With quite a bit of experience in human services. My degree will be in human services with a certificate in substance abuse and HR. My concern is, I understand that you've been a prosecutor and prosecuted, these people that are doing this trafficking. But for someone like myself that wants to help and wants to give back and wants to work with these young girls that are being put in jail, 15, yes they are. And so what are the resources and what are you going to be doing? And I am going to vote for you. But my question
I was worried for a second.
But my question is, are you going to take this message to, with you when you're lieutenant governor? And what are the resources going to be for someone like me that wants to get into a program and work here in Virginia to change this and work with these young women so that they don't travel down this road?
Absolutely. Well, I can hear the passion in your voice.
Yes, and I'm concerned.
No, you should be, but we have a chance again to change it. And this actually is an issue that I'm so passionate about. And I'll have to admit, before I became deputy of this trafficking task force, I didn't know all that much about the issue. I knew some, but I learned so much during that process. We worked not only, obviously, with the federal law enforcement, federal, state, and local, because it's often times at the local level where these issues arise. But we worked with NGOs, we worked with survivors, we worked, in the community, and you understood this, approach that needs to be taken, this careful, thoughtful approach. And it was oftentimes, women and young girls were the victims. Sometimes it was boys and even men. And you all are probably aware about human trafficking, and it is modern day slavery. It's forcing people, whether it's sexual exploitation or labor exploitation, and we have got to be very serious about addressing this issue. We do have some human trafficking resources at the state level, but we need to enhance them. We need to work across the lines. When I was a federal prosecutor, I actually worked with the Attorney General's office. And by the way, it was an Attorney General at the time who was a Republican, Ken Cuccinelli. So my view is this is not a partisan issue. This is a human issue. It's a human rights issue. So we need to, at the state level, have resources. We need to partner with our local law enforcement, our local human services, community service boards. And part of the issue was we just had to let people know, we had to educate them on what this was. Because it's an issue often that hides in plain sight. You would see this, in so many places, and the fact that there was no awareness, was not people's fault, but that was one of the biggest hindrances, was the fact that people didn't even recognize it when they saw it. Human traffickers were going into our high schools. They were using social media in a way that they have never used before. We saw so many uses, and where we were up in Northern Virginia, actually is a problem. A lot of people didn't expect that, a place that, relatively speaking, is doing pretty well would have this kind of issue. But actually, in some ways, it could be worse because there's a lot of money flowing around. We have 2 airports, including one of the world's most sent-in international airports, and so you see people flying from overseas. When they get here, people would steal away their papers, their documentation, so they couldn't go anywhere. Would threaten them with violence, threaten them with arrest, and so this is a multifaceted problem. But we have to keep our eye on the ball. We have to have the resources, but we have to have the awareness. And that's something I promise you I'm committed to. I've been committed to it from the day that I went to work in that regard, and that was years ago. So at the state level, I will make sure that we do that.